What's up? What's up? What's up? I told myself I'm gonna go live just a little bit more this year, just because I don't really do. I be on Twitch though. I do be on Twitch now. I'm starting to get that thing rolling. But I'm up. It's late at night. I'm just sitting down. I'm editing a couple videos. Well, I'm trying. I'm trying to learn how to edit. I'm gonna say that because I usually just post. But someone's like, man, you know what? You should start editing, especially when I'm on YouTube. So I'm like, you know what? I started. Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like they actually got tutorials. They got YouTube school, TikTok school. Facebook give you a little stuff every now and again, but it's the Instagram dude. They give you like the algorithm and stuff like that. So I just said why not? But I'm up editing. I told myself I'd come on to see what's up, man. I'm just sitting down. I'm editing. I'm actually writing in my journal and stuff like that. I like to jot down stuff late at night just to kind of bring it back to my remembrance, next day or something like that, or in case I decide to do something with it. So I was just sitting here and I'm editing my videos and everything like that. And I just been hearing this question, inside of my mind, like what's stopping you from reaching your full potential? Like what's holding you back? Like I've been thinking about this like all week because like excuse me, my pastor was teaching on Sunday, and like I didn't ever really look at it like that, but he was teaching us about David, how it was it was the same person, but it was two separate stories, right? Like of course in Second Samuel, David was a little bit David was a little bit, still, I'm gonna say finding his way. He did some things I'm pretty sure that he probably wasn't even proud of, but the story goes on. But if we read Psalms, there it was a pivotal moment right there where he kind of changed his direction. He started to really, sing songs to God. Like he was doing that before, but of course we go through stuff in life, stuff change, and but one thing I love about him is that he always remained true to God and everything like that. But his story changed. And I thought about that thing. Like I had to, like, I listened to it as my pastor was talking to it, but to kind of dummy it down just a little bit more, I put it on my level where I was just thinking about like Marvel and stuff like that. Like how Deadpool and Wolverine, especially like Wolverine, because everybody know Wolverine's story. And he had two parts to his story. Like before he like joined the X-Men and stuff like that, like he was ruthless. He was ruthless, and he did a lot of things I'm pretty sure that he wasn't proud of. And he always used to have those nightmares when he finally, joined the X-Men. But I'm like, I thought about that. I'm like, man, like this sounds like very similar to that. So I'm like, I thought about it. I'm like, man, like this is crazy because we like, I'm gonna say me. I don't really look at life the way that I should. I think that's kind of like where like I mess up at or whatever, because I never even thought about anything like that. Like we got two separate points in our lives or whatever. Like we have our story that we written because, if you think about it, like when we grow up, there's nothing really around us like that really mold us into who we are. You know what I mean? Like we have our environments, we have our parents and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll be thinking like, man, I wish I'd have had this. But, one of the things I had to realize though is like our parents and our environment can only give what they got. Like, so a lot of people didn't have a lot of things. Like in my case, a lot of people didn't have fathers. A lot of people didn't have love or none of that in their nature. So they gave us exactly what they could give us and everything like that. But as you grow up, you be like, man, I wish I would have did things a little bit different. As I'm sitting here and I remember, as I said, like, I wish I would have thought about who I was hanging around. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I ain't no drug dealer. Like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about things like that. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking like, I'm not no drug dealer, bro. Like, what was I what was I even thinking about selling drugs though? You feel me? Like, but that was the environment that I was in. You feel me? And I can't blame the environment. I can only, hold myself accountable for me or whatever. So it's like that's kind of what we mess up at too. We kind of blame our environments for how we turned out, which is understandable. But at the same time, we all have choices. But, I ain't gonna really get too much in that. But, I'm just like, what the heck I'm doing selling drugs? What the heck I'm doing just out here doing whatever, staying late at night? Like, this is not me. You feel me? And one of the things I just been like, the journey that I've been on, just kind of getting to know myself. Like, we don't really take time to get a chance to know ourselves. Like, we don't really know exactly everything that we're capable of doing, because when God started getting around, we be like, man, I never knew I had that strength. Like, I never knew that I can think that way. I never knew I couldn't even turn out this way, because let me tell you something. It was definitely me that was like, man, you'll never catch me not smoking. Like, that definitely was me. You will never catch me not drinking a cup of hen or whatever the case might be. Like, yeah, I was one of those expensive people that was doing that. Like, we, you know what I mean? Down peak and stuff like that. Like, yeah. But, like, that was me. Like, I seen nothing outside of that, right? But as I'm on this journey, like, because I like, one thing I want to do with my platform, I'm going to make sure that I share my experiences. You know what I mean? Hoping that it would help somebody else, like, to kind of maneuver through some things. Like, I always teach the young guys about stuff that I went through, hoping that it can kind of maneuver. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to do the same thing, because, and nowadays, like I said, like, it's easy for a young boy to look up to the people that's older than them. You feel me? So it's like, now I'm telling myself, like, it's important to be in purpose. Like, even when I first started to think about this stuff, like, I never really still paid attention to it. Like, cause I was like, when God first called me, I was like 22. I think I was going on 23, but I wasn't really into it the way that I should have been into it, right? Because I didn't see no other way out. You feel me? I didn't allow God to do what he needed to do inside of me. Like, I didn't see nothing outside of partying. I didn't see nothing outside of drinking and smoking. I didn't really see anything outside of nothing. So it was like this is crazy. So when it started to happen, it's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of seemed like unreal. You feel me? Like, the way God can develop us after we done said this and after we done said that. You feel me? So it's like, once you win that mode, you be like, dang, I wish I would have got here like sooner, because we don't see nothing outside of what we was around. You feel me? So it's like, when you don't see that, it's like it should be like a time where we sit down and develop ourselves. Cause like I ain't even gonna lie, I was just sitting down, I was like, man, I really don't know myself well enough. You feel me? Like, I was like to be honest, like, one thing that, God constantly remind me is, like, you a leader. Like you should be doing certain stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm following what I'm around. Like, it's almost like a vegetable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to grow in the fruit. You feel me? So it's like, I'm like, dang. And it kind of gets you upset though, because like, you would think that you will know everything about yourself because it's you. You feel me? But in reality, we don't. We don't know that second version of us. Like, as I read and study, I'm starting to understand like why suicide is like that ultimate no-no. You feel me? Because it's like, you don't know the person on the other side of this moment right here. Like, you don't know. So it's like, you don't know what you killing. Like, you was destined to save people. You was destined to have certain kids and stuff like that. Like, you was destined to do certain things. So it's like, so I started to understand like why that was kind of like an ultimate no-no. Like, why that's like one of the ultimate sins or whatever, because you don't know the other person on side of that. So like I thought that was just like something to like really just sit down and just talk about, because we don't know the other side of us. Like we don't know how much greatness is really inside of us. Like we don't know how strong we really are. Like we go through situations and like we don't know. And you know, one thing I did learn is that when we go through situations without really knowing the extent of situations or the magnitude of it, we don't really, like, honestly, we kind of brush it off. Like we never really make it through. That's why I always keep like coming around and like I'm so mad because like when I really sit down and I really just think about like life or whatever, like I think like I don't know, it's like I was cleaning up some stuff and I'm just looking over old notes and stuff like that, and I'm just ah, like I just spent, because everything just starting to look the same as I started going up in the years. Like I said, like I started going to church like in 2013 or something like that, and I would still miss church every now and again. I didn't really get serious about it until like 2015. You feel me? So it was like, all right, cool. But I started to look at the notes, and I'm like, these titles, these footnotes, they all look and sound the same. You feel me? Like, and I'm like, I just realized that for the last 10, maybe 10 to 11 years, I've been going around in a circle. And I'm like this is crazy. But when you don't know the other side of you that God called you to be, or you purpose or destined to be, or whatever, then we allow ourselves to get stuck like in that place. You feel me? Because we don't really know who we are. Right. And that's kind of like messed up. Like me being honest, like I hate when I don't know stuff and I gotta say stuff like, man, you give yourself time to grow. Like, dog, like I wish I would have known that, because I would have saved myself some time of going around certain paths. Like, bro, I wish I would have known that about myself. I wish I would have known this and that, but we don't really sit down and really take time to get a chance to know ourselves. Like, we don't really get a chance to know exactly, like the way I look at it, like I always thought, I said, wouldn't it be crazy if you working somewhere when you was destined to like run it, but you don't really see like outside of that? Because like we don't really see that. Like that's another thing. Like we don't really see like real greatness like around us. You feel me? Like we see stuff here and there, but I learned that like the magnitude, like it don't reach the height, because there's always something like for me, like the moment that I'm in is I'm um I'm basically trying to take the old parts of me and bring it to the new me. Like and I'm like, you can't do that. And I'm just like, how the heck I'm not seeing this? You know what I mean? Like it kind of it upsets you, because you think you know you. I realize sometimes our mind can move without us. Sometimes we can go like, yeah, it's a lot. Like I've been on journeys where it was just like I didn't even know I was even on a ride. It's almost like I was a zombie. You feel me? Like because that's what I'm used to doing. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to just like going to work. I'm not thinking like nothing outside of that. Even still to this day, I go back and forth with that or whatever, because if I look around, like right now, it's not around me. Like, you feel me? So it's like I'm going through everything I need to go through, because I'm like writing a blueprint. You feel me? So it's like, but I want to know, like, you feel me? Because like I said, I wanted to create this platform to like just iron sharpen iron. Like we helpers one to another. Like, you know, and just to hear and listen to somebody else's story, sometimes you can find yourself in those stories. You feel me? Like I learned that like we overcame, you know, by the blood of the lamb and the words of our testimony. Like just hearing somebody else go through, it will make you like, all right, I'm there. You can find yourself in that. Like, I'm there. Like, I don't want to go down that path. For certain paths, like I went down, it could have been avoided. Like it just simply could have been avoided. So here I am in 2025 in my 30s. I'm trying to build, but what I had to learn is that it's a process. It's a process because we've been through so much in life that now we trying to do something new. Like is tough because even though we know, we work hard and stuff like that, deep down, some of us think like we don't deserve some of the things that, that God give us. You feel me? Or I know for somebody like me, I'm like, I just keep thinking, I don't want to mess it up. Like, I don't want to mess it up. Like, cause I'm not like, I've been in places where I mess stuff up. You feel me? So it's like, I don't want to mess it up. So I had to realize like, I can't think like that. Like if I'm going to do it, then it's just simple. You got to do it. Like, that's just what it is. Like no fear, like no nothing. Like you just got to really go in and do it. Cause like, if not, we just going to be, sitting at home, still thinking, dreaming, wishing, asking God, when you going to move. But the whole time it's like, it's you. Like, I'm just sitting here and like I said, I'm writing, I'm editing, and I'm just like, it's me. You feel me? Like the mindset, like, cause one of the things that I learned is that cause I think I did 3 this week, Monday and Tuesday. So the first one, it was just about, I had to learn that you had to have a start date. Like when you have a start date to something, then it's like a for sure thing. Like once you write down, like when you're looking for a new job, once you write down the start date, then your mind automatically start processing. All right, I need to get up at 4. Sometimes when you're doing that, you know what I'm saying, you might run a little over, but when you've been in a certain position for so long, like you've been down and like this the first time you had a job in a while, or this the first time something like this actually came through, like it's programming your mind because you written it down. Like you go to Ford Chrysler, hey, like people say it's like making it to the league. You feel me? So it's like because of what everything that they stand for. You feel me? So it's like once you write it down, like, oh snap, this is real. And everybody know the criteria, the discipline that all the big 3 hold. Like if you ain't doing it right in your first 90 days or whatever, then you out of there. So it's like you got to find a start date to do something. And I had to learn that that's why New Year's resolutions don't really happen. You feel me? Like that's why they don't really happen. Like because we don't really start it. We think it, we talk about it, but we don't really put the plan in motion. You feel me? Like, and I had to learn that too, because us people, we gonna set something up, man. December 31st, man. I'm about to do this. How you expect to do something and you just said it like a couple hours ago? Like that doesn't even make sense at all. Like just because you talked about it, that doesn't mean like this just about to happen. You talking about it at 8 o'clock. Why are you partying? I'm done partying next year. How can you have that thought when you still partying right now? Like that would have been a sign like, you know what? I'm out of here. You feel me? How can you say like, I'm about to stop smoking, I'm about to stop drinking and doing this and doing that while you're doing it? Like that doesn't even like make sense at all. So it's like, you got to think about that like prior to. Like for me, I had to overcome it. Like I started in like November. You know what I mean? I started in November. So it's like my mind wrapped around like this year, I'm going to start doing it. So when January came, certain things, it didn't have to kind of just like come out. It was in the flow of things. Like it was almost like it was there. I think about life. I compare life to basketball because basketball it's not a thinking sport. It's a doing sport. It's a reflex sport. Like what you do in practice is how you perform in the game. One thing Kobe said that I love is that doesn't matter how many people there, doesn't matter what's going on around me, I'm shooting this shot at least 500 times before I even got to you. So I'm going to make it make it no matter what. If I miss, that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to come back and shoot it again because I practice it. So when you win a game and you know exactly what to do, you work on your handles just to learn how to get to your spot. And that's how I look at life. Like you do things prior to, like you can't make that December 31st and think when the clock strikes 12 o'clock, all of a sudden it's gone. No, you gotta put in the work to do it. So like that's just some of the things that, you know, I had to learn like during this process. Some of the things I felt like that was just hold me extremely back. Like, but it all came with time, learning how to really sit down, because we don't really sit down enough to really even like to learn who we are. Like we don't learn to assess many things, like because I learned like we got a lot of gifts. Like we got a lot of gifts. You feel me? And they don't get a chance to get unlocked because they not developed. You feel me? Like we pray to God for certain things. We don't pray to improve me. We don't pray for him to actually mold us or take us on a different route. Because one thing I learned, hey, when you pray to God and he step in, it's a totally different ball game. And I realize a lot of times we actually step out the game. We get subbed out because we don't really like to go through the rigor. Like, let me tell you something. One thing I learned, that everything that happened to us is not bad. Like some stuff, it's unfortunate for real. But at the same time, I learned that because the Bible talks about it, everything that happens is all a part of the plan. Like it's for his glory. So it's like some stuff, you gotta learn how to go through it. You gotta learn how to like endure it, because you don't get no diamond by just picking it up off the ground. Like it's not about to just be a diamond. Like it's cold first. Like it gotta go through some type of pressure. Like it gotta go through something to push out the greatness that's inside of us. So it's like you gotta go through things, and I have to, like, we gotta learn that, because every time we look up, we going through things and stuff like that. Hey, the devil working. Let me tell you something. It don't work like that. Like if he already got you, then why would he need to mess with you again? Like it's just, we programmed to think like that because the people around us, when stuff went bad, boy, that devil surely is working. Like, no, like it's God. He said in the Bible, I use all things for my glory. It takes the foolish things to confound the wise. Like the Bible says he's a great and a terrible God at the same time, because he wants what's best for us at all times. And he's willing to go through the furthest extent to get that up out of us. But one thing I learned is that sometimes we don't really take heed to it. Like we just we fall off. You feel me? Like I seen people they not the same no more. You feel me? And I look at that and I'm just like, that can't be me. Like, you feel me? You gotta go through it. You feel me? The only way you get to the next level is you gotta get rid of that side. And just like Wolverine and X-Men, he had dreams, he had nightmares of his past, simply because he was changing. Sometimes he revert back, but it was in his mind to say, with Professor Xavier, to get inside his mind and say, hey, come back. You feel me? And then another thing was just like, we did some stuff, and you gotta you gotta reach the point where you can forgive yourself for some of that stuff. Like, don't ever think that you can't come back from something. Well, excuse me. Like, that's one thing I tell like my guys that had kids and stuff like that. Like don't never think it's over with. Like if you want it, you pray about it, you work through it, then it's gonna work out in your favor. You feel me? Like you gotta want it, but you can't take the old in that next place. Like, you can't go in there with no temper. You can't go in with none of that. Like, you got to go in as a total changed person. Like, that's the only way. That's the only way. Like, and like I said, I'm just sitting here, I'm editing, I'm just writing. I'm like I can't take the old stuff with me. You feel me? Like, I just can't. Like, I don't like I had to learn, man. Like, it's okay to put certain stuff down. Like, it's okay to dismiss certain people. Like, it's okay to remove yourself from certain things, because it's like, we don't really know what's holding us back. Like, that was another thing. I ain't gonna get into it. That was another thing. Like, cause I was so loyal to the friends that I was with, but I didn't know it was like, it was messing with me. It was messing with my integrity, because I would lie and all that type of stuff for them, knowing that that's not even my character. Like, but because I care so much about having friends, I was willing to put up any and everything to do it. So it was like, no, you can't do it. But you got to know that God has a plan for your life, and there's another side of you. Like, we just, every single day we wake up and we just do what we want to do. And you know, the crazy part about that is that we feel it. We feel it. Like, we might not know what that feeling is, but we feel it when something is wrong inside of our lives. Like, you feel me? Like, I learned that, because like I do landscaping and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, and I'm at work. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna cut grass when I cut grass. I'm gonna expand when I feel like it or whatever, not knowing that I was starting to work against myself. So like, I was working. I'm like, man, like, I feel like I'm drained. Like, I feel like I just can't catch my breath. And I'm just praying one. It's like, cause you're working against yourself. Like, it's time to move on. Like, you've been here far too long, and you won't survive without this part. Like, I'm just like, I'm looking at everything that's going on in the world, and like, I believe it all just, okay, one thing about me, I'm optimistic. That's just one thing about me. I try to find sunshine in some of the most dark situations. I'm sorry, that's just how I'm raised, man. Like, I do my best to try to keep my faith, you know, strong, to stay strong for my people, for my wife and stuff like that. Because I always say, when I have kids, I want to make sure that my kids is like that. And I say, when I finally go to sleep, I want to be known for like, hey, that brother can find sunshine in the most darkest situations around. Like, I want to be known as that person. But I was just telling my mama, I'm like, maybe all this is for a reason. Like, one thing my pastor talked about when Trump finally got in 2020, like, God done trumped us. And you want to know something crazy? Like, that year should be in the history books, for real. But not because of the coronavirus, but because what spread it around the world. Like, people started to find themselves. Like, people started to wake up. Like, people been on jobs for years and just realized, like, I'm ready to take this part of me serious. Like, we started to see people we ain't never seen before. You feel me? And it was just like, dang, everybody popping up. You feel me? But the biggest thing was they was still taking them with, like, trying to go to the next level. You feel me? And you just, like, you can't. I had guys that was out here cutting grass and all that. And, you know, if I couldn't get to it, I recommend them. Get a phone call. Hey, you know, they never showed up. Or I had one guy took the chicken and money, took the chicken and money. I'm sorry. They took the money, but they never came back to complete the service. I'm like, dang, I recommend that. Like, cause I seen them out here grinding, but I didn't know behind closed doors, like, they was still doing like them or whatever. So I had to stop doing that. You feel me? But 2020 was a year to remember. Like, there was so much money just, Yeah, even though a little bit of that was scam money. I can't even cap. A little bit of that was scam money, but it was money floating around. We had new businesses open up. People just started to sprout up like everywhere. You feel me? So it was just like it was a moment. So I told myself like, even I was telling my mom like, even in this year, I still believe that this ain't for nothing. You feel me? Trump being in office, Elon Musk doing what he doing is not for nothing. It's to elevate the people, because some of us, we need that. We need those pushes. Like we need them. Like we need somebody to put a foot up our butt. Like, hey, it's time to go. Like it's time to elevate. Like everything is moving, but you still sitting here like no, like it's time to like to develop. You feel me? It's time to change our mindset. It's time to change our where we stay at. You feel me? Like because we got kids and all that. And one thing I learned, like panicking around a kid and you know all types of stuff like that, it rubs off on the kids. You feel me? Like because like we creatures of habit. If we seen it, we don't know it, but consciously it's back there. So when we found ourselves in situations where time is rough and all that, we gonna remember exactly what our parents did or our uncles did, and we gonna do the same exact thing. Oh, we gonna start panicking. Hey, I pay y'all when I pay y'all. Hey, let me make this arrangement. You feel me? Like because we seen it done before, so we figure like this is the way to do it. Like no, like you find yourself in those positions, it's time to elevate. It's time to get that chicken up. Like it's time to like move on. Like, all right, I appreciate everything y'all did for me here, but now it's time to elevate. It's time to go. You feel me? And sometimes you can't take the people with you that you started out with. You feel me? Like that's just the honest to God truth, because believe it or not, man, everybody don't want good for you. As long as you in that same spot, if they at, man, they don't heck you know. Like, I'm not gonna use the same crab in a bucket, because I'm here to like I'm here to empower and stuff like that. So I won't really say that. I'm just gonna say when people are not confident in who they are, you feel me, or they still trying to figure stuff out, like they want somebody like to be there with them because it makes us feel good. Because it's like, all right, hey, you know, I know we're supposed to get our life together, so you still here. All right, I'm comfortable, I'm cool, but like no, like sometimes it's cool to cut people off. Sometimes it's cool to take a break. You feel me? Like when I first started this, like I separated from everybody. You feel me? Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whatever. Like people calling me, drama, all that. I ain't got time for that right now, big bro. You feel me? Hey, I ain't got time for that right now, because like I'm on a mission. Like I remember you know what I'm saying? I'm going through the motions inside my mind. I'm trying to change. I'm figuring things out. You feel me? Like, okay, because, all right, one thing about me, like, I didn't really classify myself as a man until I turned like 27. Like, because it's more like to be a man than providing. Like, to be honest, when you really found out like how to be a man and everything like that, like I got it. Like I got papers and stuff like that. Like I got everything. So it's like, to be honest, providing is probably like, that's the least of my worries on being a man. Like that is nothing to me. Like providing is definitely like something, and you feel me? But when you really find out what it takes to be a man, how to become a man, like that's really a gimmick. You feel me? Like that's something that's already inevitable. We already discovered that. Like what's next though? You feel me? Like you feel me? Like when I got goddaughters or god kids, I teach them how to pay the bills. Does that make them a provider? Compared to what people saying, that does make them a provider. So it's like, you feel me? Like that is the most lowest on, you know, the whole man situation though. But like, so I didn't really classify myself to be in a man. And even in that moment, I said I just opened the door. You feel me? I didn't even walk through, because responsibility is something. You feel me? Accountability is something. Making tough decisions, knowing what to do when the time is right. Because a lot of men, when situations come up, all right, cool, that's fine, whatever. But like, no, like you can't do that. One of the things I learned is that when you leave stuff where it's at, then more stuff start to come inside there. Like more stuff just that sounded crazy, so pause. But a lot of stuff get added on to that and it makes a bigger problem. Like when I got married, I had to realize that I can't leave certain problems just sitting there. Or if I got mad or something or spazzed out, I can't just leave it sitting there. Because once stuff start to get added on, you just be sitting there, you be thinking like, you still do owe me that much. Like you just start thinking of petty stuff, you feel me? Like, and it's not petty because it's your money, but you just start thinking about stuff like that. That's why I had to learn, like you had to solve that. And that's probably one of the biggest things. Communication. Like those are one of the biggest things. Like, so, but I'm riding in the car with my guy. We just talking, we talking about faith, stuff like that, stepping out on faith and stuff like that. Like I'm really 1 foot in of doing something different, 1 foot out and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna stay here because I know for a fact when I got to check, I ain't gotta worry about like nothing else. You feel me? Like I don't have to do all that extra stuff. You feel me? Because I know for a fact if I come to work and I do what I do, I'm gonna get a check. So it's like, you know, and I'm tossing back and forth. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, so what you thinking? Like, how long you think we can continue to do this? Like, we do the same thing like over and over. Like, I feel like I'm more than this. And his response was like, yeah, that's cool. But like, you feel me? Stuff like this take time and all that, which is cool. But I'm like, dang, we've been doing this for a while. Like, and we just like, and they get mad at me because I don't like to sit around dreaming and wishing. Heck, you know, if it's possible, I'm doing whatever I can to make it happen. You feel me? So it's like, I'm good. You feel me? And I kind of lose a lot of friends with that because I'm like, I ain't dreaming and wishing no more. Like, this stuff that we've been dreaming, wishing about, bro, some of this is like can come true for me. Like, I can make this happen, bro. Like, this was actually in my future, bro. Like, nah. Like, you feel me? It's attainable. Why the heck I'm sitting here dreaming and wishing about it? So it's like I had to separate myself. And I'm not blaming him for anything. Like, but to keep myself and protect myself, I had to separate. You feel me? Everybody separate for peace and all that, but we don't know how to separate on that path when we figuring stuff out. Like, I told myself this year, but I was telling myself this last year because I was, I put in, doing process stuff like that. I told myself last year, like, you know what? If you're not on the same type of time that I'm on, then we can't be cool right now. Like, I spin the block and I see what's going on. But if we not on that same situation, I really ain't got nothing to say to you at that current moment. Because, like, I'm trying to work stuff out. I don't need no negativity. I don't need nobody that's not doing that because, like, I don't really talk about, like, the spiritual part when I'm on here and stuff like that because I know people got their certain belief, but spirits travel. Like, and when you doing something and somebody else, they ain't got to talk to pull you down. They ain't got to talk to pull you down. Their spirit going to do it. Or the most famous one, oh, you think you different. You think, like, dang, what if I am though? Like, you feel me? Like, we can, like, I'm in my early 30s. I ain't like, I ain't gonna say it, but I'm not 35. Like, I'm lower than that. I just came into my 30s. But I had like older guys that was kind of like putting me down about that jump. You feel me? And I'm like, dang, bro. Like, you supposed to be the big homie. You feel me? Like, what the heck going on? You feel me? And then, like, when it came out, I just, like, they was just, like, you started hearing it, like, dang. Like, that's messed up. Like, I don't think I'm anything. I would never think I'm more than what I am. I'm just trying to do something different. You feel me? Like, I'm married. Like, I want to make sure that I'm a good example to my wife. I want to have kids. I want to make sure that they in a better position than I was, that they don't have to know what food stamps and all that is. Like, they don't have to worry about that. You feel me? Like, they don't have to worry about being put out or doing anything. Like, they ain't got to worry about none of that. Like that's the type of time, like, you got to be on. You feel me? Not for yourself. Of course for yourself too, though, because, like, hey, you know, we let her do our thing too, though. But I do it for the people around me. You feel me? I knew that if I do what I'm supposed to do, then I can show my mama and my sister and sisters what a man is. See, like, we ain't thinking about all that because we don't really know the other side. Like, karma is a mud, you feel me? Like, that's what I said. I told, like, I don't want to have no son. Like, I don't want to have no son. Like, you feel me? Because I don't want to relive that. You feel me? I don't want to relive, like, me. But then at the same time, like, I don't want to have a daughter either because I don't want her to be like me. I don't want the communication to be like me. Like, I barely talk. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to get out of it, coming on here, doing live stuff like that. Like, so I'm going to do a little bit more because I want to make sure that I'm doing my part. I want to make sure that I'm encouraging, you feel me? Like, I'm planting, you feel me? Like, just walking people through because, like, ain't nobody doing that. You feel me? Like, ain't nobody walking no man through no process. They go, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I can't even get no help. But even if it is help, like, it's not where you trying to go. It's almost like a walk. You feel me? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what the, oh, I'm bad, my bad, I'm tripping. So it's like, oh man. Oh, it's like, you know, like what it is. You feel me? So it's like, but like I said, I just came on for a minute just to chat. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about some stuff. Like I said, man, like, it's a whole nother part to our story that, like, I wrote down in my little journal that only thing God is waiting for is for us to just to turn the page. Like, you did all that. You did all you needed to do. You seen all you need to see. Like, time to turn the page because the purpose you is ready to come out. Like, and it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what situation you in. It doesn't matter how far gone you is. If you wanted to discover that, just turn the page. Like, that's it. Do the work. You feel me? Like, this stuff is just not happening for nothing out here. Trump getting back in the office, just me personally, is because some of us need that extra push. We need that extra kick. For hey, like, if you got a business, it's time to stop sitting on that. Like, I don't really, like, I listen to a very few, like, preachers and stuff like that because I don't like, you know, can't, you know, but they've been saying one thing. Said this year, if you don't have that extra kick and if you don't get to your destination, you can get left behind. Everything is going up. Food is going up. Everything is going up. Like, that's another video. But, like you got to start somewhere. You know? Like, you got to. Like, so, like I said, I just came on to encourage. Like, you feel me? Like, I want to make sure I can continue to do it. I want to make sure I'm doing my part. Like, I want to, you know, help build my community up. You feel me? Like, when I'm out, I make sure I show love to the younger people. You feel me? When I go in gas stations, you know, I try to be, you know, what I can. Cause it's like a contradict with me, man, because I don't like talking, but I'm made for it. You feel me? Like, I don't even understand why. Like, coming up, I didn't really talk like that. Like, but now, like, I'm gonna say I still don't do a lot of talking, but I love to help people. I love to encourage. I love to motivate, do all that type of stuff. You feel me? Like, I love to talk to young kids out here. You feel me? Like, I love to do all that. So I'm gonna say I like doing that. But when I go in, hey, good morning, King. Like, you feel me? Like, hey, I hope you have a good day. Like, I just be in gas stations, people just be coming up to me, just, hey man, I appreciate that. I'm like, bro, I just said have a good day. Like, I know, but I didn't think I was gonna have a good day because I had a rough morning. I'm like, hey King, it happens. But you know what I say? You equipped to do it. You equipped to carry this burden. Like, you amazing. Like, my wife just be looking like, what the heck is going on? Because like, I want to be vocal in my community. Like, I want to help build it. Like, it's so much potential. Like, my pastor said something, and it was the most profound but yet disturbing thing I ever heard. The cemetery is one of the richest places on earth. The most richest places, because ideas and inventions and all that type of stuff, it never got a chance to see the light of day because they gone. But yet, I'm just like, dang, like that is crazy. I never even thought about it like that. So, like be encouraged. Like, you got this. Like, you was built to do it. Like, you was built to last. There is greatness inside of you. Like, we got gifts and talents that goes beyond us. That will allow us to get money. All types of stuff. You feel me? Like, you just gotta flip the page. You know, like, so like I said, I ain't come on to do anything. I'm sitting here, man. I'm editing. I got a few more videos to shoot before I wrap it up and stuff like that. A couple more shorts and stuff like that. It's a little late, so I don't know if I might hit Twitch up tonight, but yeah, man, like, it's destiny. Like, if you here, you got a purpose. God could have took us a long time ago, but we here. Like, it's time to do it. You feel me? Like, there's greatness waiting on us. There's new houses waiting on us, new cars waiting on us, like new growth waiting on us, new healing, new deliverance. All this stuff is waiting on us. Like, just gotta turn the page. You turn the page, see the best part of you. Like,